Hollywood has seen many careers destroyed over the years, but sometimes it's regular folks who blow the whistle on Hollywood's A-list. Keep an eye out for phone-throwing scandals and secret affairs as we check out the famous faces who were brought down by a bunch of average Joes. Ashton Kutcher's seemingly happy marriage to Demi Moore fell apart overnight after it was discovered that Kutcher had cheated on Moore with a 22-year-old administrative assistant from San Diego, on the couple's 6th wedding anniversary, no less.
If I'd known that he was happily married, none of this would have ever happened.
The mistress, later revealed to be Sarah Leal, quickly dished her story to Us Weekly, transforming Kutcher from that affable goof who just so happened to marry a much older woman to an alleged full-blown cheater.
People's personal lives have become entertainment. There's magazines that focus on that, and that's become a show in itself.
According to Leal, Kutcher told her that he was separated from Moore. Shortly after, Kutcher, Leal, and another woman were hanging out in a hot tub inside San Diego's Hard Rock Hotel, and it only got crazier as the night wore on.
One thing led to another, and I ended up staying the night.
Leal's story catalyzed one of Hollywood's biggest and most painful divorces, tarnishing Kutcher's public image in front of millions of fans in the process. Despite bouncing back professionally and personally by starring on 2.5 Men and marrying Mila Kunis, Kutcher's affair remains the original blemish on his career. Celebrity chef Paula Deen's multi-million-dollar empire came crashing down in 2013 when one of her former employees sued Deen and her brother Bubba for racial discrimination and harassment. In her lawsuit, per the New York Post, former Uncle Bubba's Seafood and Oyster House employee Lisa T. Jackson claimed, among other things, that Deen's brother, who co-owned the restaurant with Deen, made racist jokes and implemented discriminatory practices against minority employees.
I want to apologize to everybody for the wrong that I've done.
Per Eater, Deen later vaguely confirmed in a controversial deposition that she had also used racial slurs at various points in her life. The discrimination portion of the lawsuit was eventually dismissed, but Deen's confession sparked intense backlash, leading her to lose her Food Network shows, a book deal with Random House, and many brand endorsements. Deen attempted multiple comebacks, including a controversial stint on ABC's Dancing with the Stars in 2015. She was out by week 6.
I just want to dance till I get it right, and I feel good about it. Yeah. That's all I want.
As of mid-2019, Deen's endeavors include a fledgling restaurant chain and a TV show called Positively Paula, although the program is small beans compared to her heyday at the Food Network, where she hosted 4 different shows. In fact, Positively Paula is such an underdog, the show's Facebook page actually issued a plea in March 2019, begging, "We've created this show on a shoestring, and sales from the online store really help us produce new shows."
Yum, yum, yum.
Months after his 2-term stint as governor of California came to an end, Arnold Schwarzenegger admitted to fathering a son, Joseph, with his family's former housekeeper in 1997. In a remorseful 2011 statement via the Los Angeles Times, Schwarzenegger said, "I understand and deserve the feelings of anger and disappointment among my friends and family. I am truly sorry."
Have your children forgiven you?
I cannot tell you, but I hope they will.
The affair and love child ultimately led to the demise of Schwarzenegger's 25-year marriage to Maria Shriver, and for good reason. The housekeeper had worked with the family for over 20 years, up until her retirement in late 2010. The fallout for Schwarzenegger was harsh, or as The Telegraph put it, Mr. Schwarzenegger's political career is now over, any possible office now denied to him by his philandering. He has also voluntarily postponed his planned Hollywood comeback. That comeback came in the form of a high-profile stint as the new host of Celebrity Apprentice, taking over for none other than Donald Trump. Unfortunately, it bombed, causing Schwarzenegger to quit after 1 season.
I came to America with empty pockets, but full of dreams. And I knew that in this land of opportunity, I could build the future that I envisioned.
As of mid-2019, however, the star is experiencing somewhat of an action career renaissance, with starring roles lined up in new installments of the Terminator and Conan series. He's also reprising his role as the world's first pregnant man in the sequel to Junior, so maybe don't count on this comeback as triumphant just yet.
I'll be back.
By the time 2005 rolled around, Russell Crowe had solidified his bad boy image. But he didn't do himself any favors when he allegedly threw a telephone at a New York City hotel employee during a heated exchange. Crowe was arrested and initially slapped with felony charges, which could have, quote, effectively ended his American film career, according to the New York Times. A plea deal got the charge reduced to a misdemeanor, but the hotel employee filed a civil suit against Crowe that supposedly settled out of court for an amount in the low six figures.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
While it's tough to pinpoint the exact influence the altercation had on Crowe's Oscar-winning career, his string of subsequent box office duds like A Good Year, Body of Lies, and State of Play could offer some indication. In fact, since 2005, Crowe's only starring role to break the $100 million domestic box office mark was Noah, which only did so just barely and had a reported $125 million budget.
It's been a long run. We're doing all right now, aren't we, pal? Can I touch you? Sorry.
But perhaps the most telltale sign of how Crowe's attitude has affected his career came via conversations between his past collaborators and Variety magazine. Several former Crowe co-workers couched their praise for the star in what were essentially excuses for his difficult on-set behavior. LA Confidential director Curtis Hanson even mentioned how Crowe was perfect for the role of Bud White because of the character's, quote, wounded and angry disposition. Ouch.
When you go to anger management, you realize you're not that angry.
Alec Baldwin's temper has gotten him into trouble many times, but his personal fumbles finally affected his professional life in 2013 after he was accused of hurling an insensitive slur at a New York Post photographer. Baldwin, who had to apologize to GLAAD earlier that year for allegedly tweeting anti-gay comments to a former Mitt Romney aide, ultimately faced serious consequences for his actions.
Nobody's perfect.
MSNBC quickly canceled his weekly talk show Up Late with Alec Baldwin, which had already been struggling in the ratings. The Atlantic declared Baldwin a bigot, and a New York State senator called for networks and studios to cut ties with him until he, quote, seeks help, according to TMZ. The following year, Baldwin detailed his self-imposed hiatus in an essay for New York Magazine, including his confession that Capital One had opted not to renew his contract in wake of the scandal. He also claimed he was going to stop making unpaid appearances on shows like The Late Show with David Letterman and Saturday Night Live. Neither exile lasted very long, as Baldwin bounced back in a big way with roles in the Mission Impossible franchise, Boss Baby, and a hosting gig for ABC's reboot of the classic game show Match Game. Oh yeah, and he also found success with a certain political impression on a certain late-night sketch show that he swore he'd never return to.
Tremendous to be here, just tremendous.
At the height of his fame, Bill Cosby was once considered the world's highest-paid entertainer, raking in $84 million in 1986 and 87 alone. But he was hiding a dark secret that was finally brought to light by a Temple University employee who carefully navigated a non-disclosure agreement.
I have been in this business 52 years, and I've never seen anything like this.
According to the Miami Herald, Andrea Constand's testimony, where she claimed she was drugged and molested by the sitcom star in 2004, helped put Cosby behind bars.
I forgave Bill Cosby for what he did to me. And if I did not forgive him, I wouldn't have peace.
According to People, Constand met Cosby when she was working for the Temple University women's basketball team. She was introduced to the actor by a mutual friend and reportedly took a meeting at the star's mansion in 2004 to discuss her career. That's when she claimed Cosby drugged her with what he called, quote, herbal medicine and assaulted her. Constand filed a civil lawsuit in 2005 after authorities declined to press charges following a criminal investigation. And Cosby, who didn't admit any wrongdoing, according to CNN, paid her a $3.38 million settlement. As part of the agreement, neither party was allowed to disclose details about the lawsuit or investigation, according to Philly.com. Montgomery County prosecutors reopened the case in 2017 after a dozen women reported similar allegations, and a judge later ruled that Constand was allowed to cooperate with authorities and tell her side of the story without violating the settlement. Cosby was later sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison.
Why did you do this? For justice.
Aziz Ansari's career took a major hit in 2018 when a 23-year-old photographer accused the star of misconduct in a scathing Babe.net report. Grace, who's known only by that pseudonym, reportedly met the actor and stand-up comic at a 2017 Emmy Awards after-party. They exchanged numbers and went out on a date, which ended back at Ansari's apartment.
I was thinking maybe we could do something a little fun tonight. Try to spice things up a bit.
According to Grace's graphic depiction of the evening, things escalated and the pair ended up kissing on a countertop. Ansari undressed both of them, which reportedly made the photographer uncomfortable. She asked to slow things down, but Ansari allegedly pressured Grace to go further. Grace claimed that she repeatedly refused Ansari before giving in to his advances. She eventually left Ansari's apartment in tears, telling Babe.net, "I cried the whole ride home. At that point, I felt violated. That last hour was so out of my hand."
It's really startling if you look at the difference between the way men are treated on the internet and women are treated on the internet.
After the news broke, Ansari's career undeniably took a hit, whether or not it was self-inflicted. According to Page 6, the comedian was laying low. The fate of his Netflix series Master of None was up in the air, even though the outlet was reportedly, quote, happy to make another season when Aziz is ready. Although he made a statement about the story shortly after it was published, Ansari fully reflected on it in his stand-up set during a New York City pop-up show in February 2019.
What a great job we have. No, seriously, when you look, you realize all the things we get to do.
According to Variety, Matt Lauer's decades-long career as a TV personality crumbled after an unnamed Today employee complained about his inappropriate conduct starting at the 2014 Sochi Olympics. The outlet reported several more similar accusations, as well as that of former Today staffer Addie Zanone, who accused the anchor of a, quote, abuse of power when he engaged in an intimate relationship with her.
He was the anchor of the Today Show.
Oh yeah, he was Matt Lauer.
He was married.
Yes.
Zanone told NPR that she decided to speak out in solidarity of Lauer's other accusers who were being doubted in the press. While she admitted that her affair with Lauer in 2000 was consensual, she was only 24 years old and working as a production assistant on Today at the time. The problem was in her being an entry-level employee and him a top dog. The relationship reportedly changed the course of her life at a pivotal point in her career. She told the outlet, "I think he preyed on the fact that I was very naive, and then his only seeing the physical side of me and only wanting that out of me. It shattered my confidence, so I couldn't focus on my job at all as I was trying to start my journalism career." Zanone told Megyn Kelly that Lauer had initially sent her an in-office message recalling,
just said, wow, you look great. Whatever you're doing with yourself or in your life is certainly agreeing with you. Just wanted to let you know.
According to NBC News, Lauer was fired in 2017 after an investigation into the Sochi incident and amid emerging allegations from several other accusers who spoke with Variety and the New York Times. The Ranch isn't exactly one of Netflix's most revered comedies, but the show found itself in the spotlight for all of the wrong reasons. Danny Masterson, who starred in the series alongside Ashton Kutcher, was reportedly written off the show in 2017 following a string of assault allegations, according to the Daily Beast. HuffPost reported, 4 women have accused the That 70s Show star of assaulting them in the early 2000s. At least 3 of them were fellow Scientologists. The Scientologist women also allegedly reported the incidents to the Church of Scientology at the time. At least one of the accusers filed a police report in 2004, but it was allegedly squashed after HuffPost reported the Church of Scientology submitted 50 affidavits from Scientologists denying her account. The case file also reportedly vanished, and the 2017 investigation appeared to stall as the LA County District Attorney contemplated filing charges.
I'm not saying I'm a good person. I'm not a good person.
Masterson denied the allegations and hired Thomas Mesereau, the same lawyer who represented Bill Cosby, to handle the case. But his career has already been allegedly put to a halt. Sources told TonyOrtega.org that Mesereau reportedly complained to the DA's office, claiming Masterson is unfairly unable to pursue any career options as long as DA Jackie Lacey delays her decision whether to file charges. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite stars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.